Hey, Jane here from ultimaterc.com with a first look at my latest little project I call Project Chimera-A. It's sitting behind me right here. This is a slash 4x4 based project. Now this is not like any project that I've done before in that this is not made to win any races, it's not made to inspire anybody, it's not made to impress anybody. This will be the very first project that I've done that's literally just for me. Its entire purpose is just to drive. It's a pure bashing vehicle that I'm making just to be able to take with me anywhere that I go, if I go hiking or something, just to be able to get a whole lot of video footage and actually do a whole lot of driving rather than just spending a lot of time in the workshop and being worked on and tuned. So I started with a slash 4x4 platform after looking at a whole bunch of different vehicles out there. And I've thrown a Traxxas Summit body on it. It's just the Lexan body itself plus the add-on fender kit. These fender flares are sold separately from the Lexan body. The next thing that you'll see that stands out would be wheels and tires. You've probably seen these wheels before. These are Proline Series 30. They're 2.8 inch in diameter Wabash wheels. They were originally chrome, and I've already got one video that I put up where I showed how I removed the chrome from these, and then I've got another video that I put up where I showed how I dyed them, because after removing the chrome they're just white. So those are 2.8 inch diameter wheels, and on them are mounted 2.2 inch tires. These are Integy ERC5 treads is what they call them, and I really just liked the look of them. And then putting 2.2 inch tires on the 2.8 inch rims allows me to not have to glue them. So these are actually not glued, and as you can see, I've already done some running with these. And as long as you don't run on asphalt or go too ridiculously fast, there's enough mechanical grip of the tire on the wheel that you don't need to run any glue. And that's very deliberate here because I want to be able to run through water and be able to get the foams out and dry them off. I wasn't able to find any beadlock wheels of a decent price that would actually fit with the slash 4x4 front hubs. They need quite a bit of offset or quite a bit of inner diameter in order to fit wheels over those hubs. So I just went with these for now, and I'll probably experiment with some other 2.2s once I can find some wider offset or afford some wider offset beadlocks. But for now, these will do. And then pulling the body off. Well, the first thing that you see would be the debris shield. It's just some clear plastic that I just bent up and attached with Velcro. It just helps to kind of works like mud flaps. Just helps to prevent some of the mud and water splash coming up from the tires from getting into the chassis itself. Just makes it a little bit less of a task to clean it up. And then the suspension has been retuned. I've changed the mounting points, done some experimentation with that, and these springs are not the stock springs. You know, if you've seen my first impression video for the slash 4x4, you know that I hate the stock springs that come with this thing. They're too soft in their first stage, and then they're too firm in their second stage. So these are actually springs that came out long before the slash ever came out, even long before the slash two-wheel drive. These are progressive springs from Traxxas, but I think they were made for the T-Max or E-Max or something like that. I don't have a part number with me handy. And then I set the hubs down to their lower position to give myself a little bit more center clearance, and also reduced the length of the camber, rear camber links, and mounted the inner one to the lower point, which gives me more camber gain when the truck leans. Up front, I'm just using these more traditional low-C springs, the 2-inch, 3.8 pound per inch rate, with the shocks mounted fairly close into the center line, and then I've got a little small bump stop in there basically for fender clearance so the wheel doesn't come up too far. And the relative rates between the fronts and the rear allow me to articulate from the front, really compress this shock up without compressing the rear too much, so the diff is actually not dropping down too much in the rear when one of my front tires comes up. And then speaking of diffs, up front I've got a mix between OFNA lock lube and just a little bit of 30,000 weight oil. So these are running a limited slip here. It looks like there's plenty of diff action still. I would estimate that the oil is roughly around probably between 100 and 200,000 weight, which with these tiny little Revo diffs and their tiny little hardened steel gears, you really have to just put in some ridiculously thick stuff to even be able to feel it. I tried 20,000 weight. I think it was either 20,000 or 30,000 weight, and it felt like water. It almost felt like there was nothing in there at all. So it's working in a completely different plane versus the buggy diffs that these oils were meant to tune for. And then in the rear, I've got just pure OFNA diff lock lube, and obviously that is not locked at all, but it is pretty firm, so that should help me to get more traction. Moving inside a little bit more, this is the Mamba Max Controller. I know that it's not waterproof, but I'll eventually make a waterproof box for it. I took out the stock VXL controller. It's a perfectly fine controller, but I wanted to have a little bit more flexibility on tuning it, and also the Mamba Max has a much better starting program that helps to prevent cogging. And the motor that's in there right now is not a brushless motor, which is a big surprise. I know nowadays a lot of folks are like, oh my god, if you don't have a 8-inch XXXXXL motor with a 60 millimeter diameter in there, then you're slow. Well, this truck is made to be able to actually drive over terrain and to be able to control it, not to just drive in a straight line. This is the third motor that I've tried in here so far. It's a 55 turn Integy crawler motor, or lathe motor is what it was originally meant to be. I've only done a little bit of putting around in the backyard with it. I haven't really tried it out too much. This is what I had in there before, is a Turnigy 36 millimeter standard 540 size 1800 kV motor, which is half the kV of the stock motor. I had calculated that this would be fast enough to get me to about 30 miles per hour with this 3-cell LiPo pack, but still obviously having half the kV of the stocker, it should have allowed me to go slower, but it still had too much cogging, so I really wasn't happy running the brushless motors because of the gear ratios that you have in the Slash 4x4. It's really just not designed to go slow. So I've put in the brushed motor now, and I might try a Holmes Hobbies puller motor or something like that later on, but I'll try this one out for now. And of course the first motor that I used was just the stalker, and it's great for speed and very efficient, but doesn't work too well going slow. So that's pretty much all that I have for now. Project Chimera-A. Hoping that this one will work out, but no guarantees. I have no delusions about making this into a rock crawler. I just want it to be a very capable trail rig, and really be able to take on any general kind of terrain that you would encounter while doing just mild to moderate hiking around. And then I want to take it around the region and get a whole bunch of different videos for it. So this is my first update on it, and I will be giving you more updates as I make more progress on it, and I will be putting up videos of it running as I try different tunes and different motors, different wheels and tires and stuff. And hopefully this will eventually work out, and if it doesn't, then I'll be putting this back to stock form and selling it off and putting that money towards another chassis. Of course, there's a build thread on the Ultimate RC forums at ultimaterc.com under the Traxxas Slash and Slash 4x4 forum, and I'll be posting all my photos there and have updates as they come. And if you want to see the video updates as they come, just subscribe to the Ultimate RC Network channel at youtube.com/user/ultimatercnetwork. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.